Good evening and welcome to sunny Kingston, Ontario. Tonight we're going to go for a little garden tour of the front yard. So stay tuned and let's go have a walk around. So the front windmill palm is actually starting to look like a palm again. It's got 1, 2, and the third leaf is just on its way and should be opening in the next day or so. So we'll start on the southwest side of the house. So the boxwood tree really put out a good flush of leaves. It's looking super full. It's actually almost looking a little too full, and the weight of the leaves is kind of pulling it down a little bit, but pretty happy with that. I found a Yucca glauca at Canna Nursery in Trenton. So I just need to find a place to plant that. They're so hard to find these days, but I felt lucky to get my hands on one. And here's my Yucca Filamentosa. This one has like a bit of a trunk. You can see into there. And it's putting out its new flush. Over here, I've got the leatherleaf Mahonia, and it's looking pretty big. I'm going to get it in scale here for a second so you can see it. So I'm pretty happy with the growth on that. This is Endless Summer Daphne, and you can see it's got its first flower coming out on it. And these leaves will die off shortly, and you can see the new growth coming here. And actually in the back you can see tons of new growth. So it's a zone 5B 6A plant. So it kind of looks crummy in the sort of middle spring, late spring, and then it looks really great by summer. Here's the Cuba Japonica, and you can see it's really doing a great job leafing out. These are last year's leaves here, but it's putting out a nice new flush of leaves. So I'm really happy with that. The English ivy is really starting to take off in the garden, which is great. I understand that some people find it invasive, but really here in my zone, it's not super invasive as long as you kind of keep on it and keep it under control. Here's the Japanese umbrella pine, and it's putting out its new flush for the year, looking pretty healthy. A lot of these plants are really unscathed from the winter because we had a zone 7A winter. Checking in on the Franklin tree. So it's alive, which is good. And you can see it leafing out in some sections, but not all of them. So I've given it some fertilizer and I'm giving it lots of water, and we'll just see what it does. I'm really happy with this section of the garden. So you can see the Bergenias look fantastic. Like check out the size of the leaves on it. They're almost like an evergreen hosta. And I decided to take out those 2 rhododendrons, which I talked about in a previous video, and instead put some hollies in. These are just like the standard Prince and Princess hollies, I think is what they're called. So they're pretty standard here for zone 5B. And then this rhododendron has been here for a couple of years now, and it's flowering right now. And you can see that the ivy is starting to creep around and look nice. I feel like I really like how it always looks with the limestone rocks, seeing the ivy grow around that. So these are the changes in this garden. And then this is new, but it's a new plant, but I've had it before. So this is Viburnum, leatherleaf Viburnum, and it's mostly evergreen in the winter time. Puts out a really nice flower. Pretty sturdy here for zone 5, and it gets quite large actually. The one at my old place was about 6 feet tall when I left it. So that's in this corner over here. So we'll check in on the magnolias. So that's Magnolia Victoria, deciduous magnolia. Put out a really nice flower in early May, yellow flowers. And then over here is Moonglow Magnolia. This is Magnolia virginiana, and you can see it's got flower buds, lots of them. And this one stayed mostly evergreen all winter long. And it's looking really healthy actually. Okay, so now we're on the other side of the house. And I used to have the needle palms, and these sections here decided to move them to the back, which you've seen in the previous videos. And I just replaced it with something that's simple, something that's evergreen, which I like, something that doesn't require a lot of care. So I decided to put some boxwoods in, and you can see the giant panda bamboo looking good. And the Arundinodonax hasn't really done much yet, so I noticed some popping up here the other day, and that's about it. I think what you're seeing here is Canna Lilies. So it's Canna Lilies that came over the winter there. This is this I got from Niagara. It was taken out of a gentleman's garden there, and this is the Flying Dragon orange. So it's like an ornamental orange that is rated to zone 5. Very rarely seen in zone 5, but it's still in the pot. So I just sunk the pot into the ground, and I'll bring this in the winter, at least for the first couple of winters, until it has an established root system on it. American holly looks kind of shabby right now, unfortunately, and it usually looks like this time of year. And it's starting to put out leaves in a couple of sections, but not like crazy yet, so I'm a little worried or wondering why it's not really leafing out yet. And then last on the front yard tour will be the rhododendrons, which, you know, they didn't really flower much on this side, but they're leafing out, which is great. And you can see the bamboo coming up. So I protected it, as you know, this past winter, and you can see the new canes coming out and the size and thickness of them. They're staying within the protection area. So they're staying within the Rubbermaid tub, which is good because I don't want them getting out. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 canes. So these should get, I'm gonna say probably at least 10 feet tall. But we'll keep an eye on them and keep you updated on those. So thanks for watching today, guys, and stay tuned for an update on the backyard garden in the coming days.